Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had an amazing holiday season and I wish you all a very happy new year. I thought I'd kick off the new year with a skin update video. I did do a blog post about this back in December and I totally meant to sit down around that time as well to do a video. As you can imagine though, December is quite a busy time of year, so I'm only getting around to it now that the holiday season is over. If you've been following me for at least 6 months now, you'll know that I've been using 0.1% Adapalene, so over-the-counter Differin, for the past 6 months. And at that time, I also used a dermaroller prior to help with my acne scarring. I've done quite a few things for my skin since then, so I thought I'd sit down and do a skin update for you all. This skincare update is going to be primarily on my acne and acne scarring for my currently dry skin. Before you continue this video, please be sure to read the recap in the description box down below, just so you're better caught up with the following things that I have done, and I've also listed the months that I have started these things as well. If after that recap you're still not sure as to what I'm talking about, I'll be sure to link all the associating videos and blog posts. Having said that, let's get into the video, and I'm going to start with my acne. So like I mentioned, I have been using over-the-counter Differin, which is 0.1% Adapalene, for around 6 months every night. And from the 6 months of using this, I have noticed the following. My skin is subtly smoother, but it's not by a significant amount. It's quickly reduced the pain caused by any active acne. It's also helped to quickly heal my acne, and any red marks that I had on my face from a big mark has faded faster. Overall, I do think over-the-counter Differin was a great introduction into my skincare routine and starting to use vitamin A products. However, after using this for 6 months, I do feel like my skin plateaued from it. And by that I mean it was still continuously helping, say, fade my acne marks, but it wasn't doing much in terms of control of cystic acne breakouts. This spot right here is an example of acne it didn't control. So I did feel like I had to move on to something stronger and not stick with 0.1% Differin. And so actually I did have my first dermatologist visit ever back at the end of November, and I haven't seen a skin professional for 10 years. The first one I've ever seen was actually an acne specialist, and this was during the beginning of my university career. It's a whole different story as to why I saw an acne specialist and why I stopped seeing them since. The original point of seeing that dermatologist was to check out a few spots that I developed on my body, and thankfully it is not skin cancer. And during that appointment I also expressed that I've been having a hard time controlling my acne breakouts. In that visit I also mentioned that I have been using over-the-counter Differin for about 6 months, along with the benzoyl peroxide wash I've been using, and even with this I still find I have persistent acne breakouts. I gave her a brief history of my acne and what I used to use when I used to see the acne specialist, and from that she prescribed me Aczone Gel 5% Dapsone as well as 0.3% Adapalene. For the 5% Aczone Gel, she prescribed me to use this day and night on any inflamed areas of my face with acne lesions, even the non-inflamed areas. So I pretty much use this all over my face in a super thin layer. And since I've been tolerating the over-the-counter Differin well, she just decided to up the percentage to 0.3%. Hopefully the higher percentage of this will help with actually preventing any breakouts, and this is also supposed to prevent, but mostly to treat any current acne lesions on my face. I've been using these two prescriptions since the end of November, and I've honestly noticed a difference within the first couple of weeks. I've even received comments from my mother and sister who came with me to get these prescriptions because we had to shop for other things, and my boyfriend and his family have also noticed a difference in my skin since they last saw me. So far these two have been really great in my skincare routine, and I plan on doing an updated skincare routine to show you how I use these two. Now that I've talked about my acne control, let's talk about my acne scarring. So the reason I stopped dermarolling once I started using over-the-counter Differin was just to see how much of an effect this had on my acne scars. And like I mentioned earlier, I noticed my skin subtly smoother, but it's honestly not by a lot. When I tried to do a before and after photo, the before photo being the last photo I took from my dermarolling update, I've barely noticed a difference since, so this really hasn't done anything significant for my acne scarring. If anything, it's been good at preventing it because it's been helping with any current acne that I've had on my face. I'm actually hopeful with the 0.3% Adapalene, however, helping with my scarring. There's a chemist that I follow on Instagram, and I'm sure a bunch of you follow him too. His name is Kind of Steven, or that's his handle, and he actually posted a study on his blog about 0.3% Adapalene helping with acne scarring. After reading the study, I'm a little bit more enthusiastic about the higher prescription of Adapalene that I received. With retinoids, however, patience is definitely a virtue, so I know I'm not going to be seeing any immediate results of my atrophic acne scarring from using this. I will list the blog post, however, down below just so you can see why I'm a bit more enthusiastic of using a higher prescription. That's it with the prescriptions I've been using, but what I've been using to help improve the texture of my skin have been chemical exfoliants. Once the weather wasn't as strong from summertime, I started using acids a little bit more consistently in my routine routine. One of the acids I'm using is a beta hydroxy acid, and this is the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid with salicylic acid. I don't use this all the time. I only use it on days after I finished a workout, just because that's when my skin is at its oiliest, and I find this will be the most effective. I usually work out in the AM, so that's when I usually apply this, and I do make sure to apply sunscreen right after if I'm using this product. Every other night I use an alpha hydroxy acid in my nighttime skincare routine. The one I've been using is Crave Beauty's Kale-lalu-yaha. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that. And this has 5.25% glycolic acid. I've used this for about 2 months now, and I have noticed my face looking smoother and smoother every time. When it comes to improving the texture of my skin, I've always noticed that alpha hydroxy acids do it best, particularly glycolic acid and lactic acid. I've been using this for about 2 months now, and I've been really liking it because it seems to be doing what I want it to do. It doesn't dry out my skin, and it doesn't sensitize my skin either. I can actually also use this as well as the Paula's Choice BHA liquid underneath my eyes as well without any additional irritation. 2 chemical exfoliants I've been using. If anything, I've been using this a lot more than this just because I haven't been working out as much as I would like. Back in November of my brand review of Dear Claris, I did lightly mention that I was starting to microneedle again, and this was before I got the prescriptions. I was actually sent the Banisher 2.0 by Banish Acne Scars to review. This is their new fancy Banisher 2.0. It's definitely a really nice upgrade, and if you recall from my recap, I was using their original Banisher and Banish stamp 6 months prior, and this was before I started using over-the-counter Differin. Both of them have 0.5mm titanium needles, and I've done a total of 6 sessions with microneedling, 4 with this and just 2 with this. The main feature about this is that you can use it up to 8 times, whereas with their original Banisher you could only use it for around 4. I did discontinue using this, however, once I started using the higher strength Differin and introducing Aczone into my skincare routine. I've been using the 2 prescriptions for about a month or so, so I think it's okay to reintroduce this into my routine. And I actually have mentioned to the dermatologist that I have done 6 sessions with a 0.5mm titanium needle. She was actually okay with it, but her, along with Dr. Davin Lim, who did a recent video on microneedling, both of them have pretty much confirmed my suspicion that at-home microneedling, especially on scarring like mine, will not improve significantly. It'll definitely help with the texture, which is what I personally noticed, but to actually help with my scarring, I'll need more advanced microneedling or laser. Having said that, I will still be using at-home devices because I always want some type of improvement in my acne and acne scarring, and this will still provide some of that. Since I can't rely on an at-home device to fully rid my face of acne scars, I have considered professional microneedling or laser. I couldn't talk about this with my dermatologist that much just because I was supposed to only be there to check spots on my body and also to get a consultation on scarring treatments. That's like a entirely separate appointment altogether that you need to pay for. Instead of booking an appointment and speaking with my dermatologist again and being charged some money, I spoke with my boyfriend's mother, who is a medical esthetician. Just a bit about her: she is the teacher at an aesthetics college. She wrote the textbook for them, and she also is trained in microneedling and teaching microneedling. So I talked to her about the options I have in healing my acne scars completely, and she highly recommended doing a PRP facial, also known as a vampire facial. And what luck do we have? She actually has a friend who is a registered nurse who performs a vampire facial here in Toronto. My sister is currently working in South Korea, so I did ask her to scout out the prices there as well for a vampire facial, since that's where it mostly became popularized. I'm hoping it's more affordable there and not as expensive as what my boyfriend's mother friend charges here. I'm supposed to do about 3 sessions of this vampire facial, and it is expensive. So I'm hoping in Korea it's a little bit cheaper. I know her friend has a deal right now that really cut the price, so I might go do that first before I continue doing the at-home microneedling again. So that's pretty much it for the skin update in terms of my acne and acne scarring. I'm getting a little bit more aggressive in terms of handling my acne and acne scarring just because I'm going to be turning 30 soon, and the last thing I want to deal with is acne, acne scarring, and wrinkles. Hopefully by the time I decide to do the vampire facial, I can actually film it for you all just so you could see what it's like. And I'll be sure to do a current skincare routine soon. The concept is pretty much the same as my last skincare videos, and that being acne control, hydration, and barrier protection. I still focus on all those things when it comes to my skincare. If anything though, now that I have prescriptions in my daily routine, I want to make sure everything I'm using around it doesn't have as many ingredients, it's a bit more efficient, and it's a bit gentler. I'll do a close-up of my skin so you could see what it's currently at. Alright, that's my current skin. This is my skin update. For markers for scarring, there's pretty much this one that I could already see in the viewfinder, and just the scarring I have right here. There's definitely more on my face, but thankfully it's not as visible in the camera. But I would say let's use this one and these as markers for my scar improvements. And that is it for this skincare update. I do hope you found this video helpful, especially if you have similar skin concerns as me. As always, leave this video a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel down below. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao.